All right. Okay, awesome. Well, we are recording, and I am so excited to be here tonight because honestly, nothing in this whole time that I've been coaching, and I'll share a little bit about myself along the way too. Uh, Nothing gets me excited as hearing about other people's success and how this whole coaching thing has changed so many people's lives, both in their health and in many aspects that they never even expected to see a difference in. So for me, I'm Abby Walsh, and I've been coaching for almost 4.5 years now, and coaching kind of fell into my lap, I like to say. I was somebody that used to truly hate working out. I lived off of donuts and pixie sticks and, Mrs. T's frozen pierogies. This was like my life. And I hated working out. And if you would have asked me 10 years ago if I was going to, love working out and get my master's in nutrition and, do all these things with helping people with their health and fitness, I would have told you that you were crazy. But, I am so happy that I said yes to this opportunity 4.5 years ago because it's completely changed my life. I had my bachelor's in dental hygiene, and I was working like 9 to 5 as a dental hygienist, and I thought that was just going to be it for me. And, I was happy with that at the time, and there's nothing that you shouldn't be happy about in a career. But as I, got pregnant with my daughter, and I started to, kind of think different things like, oh my gosh, like I want to be more present. I want to be able to go on these field trips. I want to be able to, never miss anything. I started to consider what coaching could do for me in a different way. And so I started to take it from just a little side hobby to something I poured a little bit more time and energy. And I saw the long-term mission, because this isn't something that you can do and just, get rich quick in, but it can bring you into the healthiest, happiest lifestyle that you could imagine. And over time, you can build any kind of side business or career you want to. And over the past 4.5 years, I've replaced my dental hygiene income, and I do this full time. So it's truly an amazing opportunity that you get to pour as much or as little as you want to into, and you get an income equal to the impact that you make and the amount of time you want to put in. So Beachbody does not guarantee any level of income or success. I have to say that so I don't get in trouble, but it truly is equal to the effort that you put in, and it's an equal earning opportunity, meaning that, maybe sometimes you hear about things like this and you're like, that's totally got to be a scam or like a pyramid scheme. And that means that, you could enroll today and never make as much money as somebody else. But that's not the way Beachbody works. Beachbody is a multi-level marketing company. So that means that, you can outgrow the person above you, because we don't get paid a cut of your commissions. That's not how this works. So we all have our own businesses individually, and we work together as a team. So it's truly an amazing model, and you can decide to do whatever you want to do with it. So I'm going to shut up for a few minutes, because who you came on here to hear from is Megan and Larry. And I am so excited about not just their story and what I know they've already achieved in their journey, but where they're headed, because I see their vision and their drive, and how they've had a complete mindset change since I met them. Honestly, it's just been beautiful to watch unfold. But I didn't know either of them prior to this. They were mutual friends through my husband, who will join us after he gets my daughter to bed. But what's really cool about coaching is you get to meet some of the best friends that you never knew you needed or wanted in life. And they come into your life through these mutual goals that we have to get healthier, to be our best. And then as we grow, we want more things, and we grow together, and we just become pretty cool people to be around. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to you, Larry and Megan, and you guys can take it away and tell us a little bit about your journey, what brought you here, and where you're headed.
Okay. Well, Abby, thank you for starting us off. And again, like everyone that's here and anyone that's listening to the recording later, thank you just for taking the time to hear about us. It's really, truly incredible that people even care enough to want to hear our story. So I'm just going to start by kind of telling a little bit about where I, growing up and my background with health and fitness, and then Megan's going to share hers, and then how it kind of like collides when we meet each other. So basically, like for me, I'll say like as I was even thinking about this, more and more is coming to my mind about when I was growing up, and how health and fitness just was like a part of my life, but usually not in such great ways. Um, like I'll start by saying my mom really always struggled with her weight and with health and fitness. It was a big thing for her, and so that because of that, it was a big thing for our family. Um, but you know, she also struggled with like healthy cooking and healthy eating. So like I grew up on kids cuisine and McDonald's and Arby's and all these things, and so and it wasn't until much later in life when she really tried to balance things out and start cooking at home. But I grew up on this sort of stuff. And the other thing I'll say is my mom had that struggle, but my dad is the opposite. He's like a string bean, really, really skinny guy. And so as I'm growing up, I fit more into the mold of my mom and like her family. So I have like a bigger build. And, I will never forget like one of the major things in my life, sadly, is I hit puberty and started to put on some weight. And, as guys, that happens. And so I was like bigger built. And my dad, who is this little thin guy, would always say like, "Oh my, you're such an ox," and like make these comments about it. And it was not meant to be hurtful. Like, he's just being my dad and just saying stuff. And maybe to a lot of guys that's just not a thing, but to me it was, and it really affected me, and it did hurt me. And so I had this like poor body image early on, struggling with my weight all the way up into high school. I remember in high school, like going after gym, going to the locker room and being like, "Oh, here we go. Like, I hate this part. And it's time to change back into my school clothes, and people are going to see me, and I don't want that." And I very distinctly remember like going to my locker and getting my clothes out and setting them out in a way so that I could be undressed for as little time as possible, and that the fewest people would see me, because I was super embarrassed and feeling just really overweight and really gross and not like the other guys. And I just hated that. And that followed me all the way up even into college. In college, I did have the opportunity, because of like 24/7 free fitness center. I did have the opportunity to work out a little bit more and be a little bit more healthy and exercise. But it still wasn't a great habit. I maybe dropped 15 to 20 pounds freshman year. And that was awesome, but that's as far as it went. And it still was a struggle, and I still didn't feel good, and I didn't like it. And I always wanted to be healthy, and I wanted to eat right. But to me, it always felt like eating right, I never knew what to do. I didn't know what was healthy. I can switch out like white bread for whole grain bread, but like, is that enough? And I just always felt like in order to know what healthy eating was, I needed to be a doctor, or I needed a master's in nutrition or something, because me myself, I just don't get it. I don't know. I don't know. And it seems like it changes all the time. The media says, eat this, no, don't eat that, and do this and do that. And I just never knew. And it was always confusing and always difficult. And so, I just so much felt hopeless. I felt like, you know what, I'm a big guy, and I guess I just have to get used to that. It's not going to change. So, so that's kind of where I was.
Yeah, so my story is different in that I kind of grew up around nutrition because my mom is type 1 diabetic, and I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 6 years old. And I remember thinking that it was so cool because I had this disease that like let me eat snacks during school when all the other kids didn't get snacks, and all this stuff. And so I had to follow the diabetes diet, as they call it. But eventually you adapt that to your life. You don't necessarily stick with exactly what you learn when you're diagnosed. And so I grew up thinking that it wasn't a big deal to be diabetic. And not until I was older did I learn that there are, a lot of really negative effects. But as a kid, you're kind of naive to that. And one of those things is that it makes it increasingly difficult to lose weight if you are a diabetic. And so I always had that going against me, which I didn't even realize. And so growing up, I was never confident. I never liked who I was. I never thought that I was good enough. I never liked looking in the mirror. In fact, I would intentionally not look in the mirror if I didn't have to. I just had no confidence whatsoever in who I was, and so I used to overcompensate for that with the way I would dress. I would dress like with baggier clothes so that you couldn't see the things that I didn't like, and I would try and make my personality more outgoing, so that you wouldn't be thinking about what you were seeing. Instead, you would think about other things, and I didn't really realize a lot of that until recently, looking back and seeing how much has changed in my life since we started on this journey. But it was that way all through high school and into college. Especially in college, I learned kind of the depth of my self-esteem issues and really tried to work on that. But in college kind of caught up with me. I had the opposite experience of Larry. I did not lose weight in college. I put on weight in college, and so that just kind of caught up with me. And then I met Larry, and we fell in love and got married, and all of that fun stuff. And since we've been married, we've always talked about we need to do something. Like, neither of us are happy with where we're at. And a few years ago, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder called rheumatoid arthritis. And if you don't know, autoimmune just means that basically my body is attacking itself. And that crushed me because I thought, I already hate my body, and now it feels like my body hates my body, and so it just feels like, what's the point? And so that was a really, really difficult thing for me, and it got so bad that for 9 weeks I couldn't get out of bed, I couldn't walk because my rheumatoid arthritis was so bad. And it was that point where we started really looking into nutrition specifically and what it could do for me, especially with my joints, but for both of us. And we started making little changes here and there that at the time we thought were huge. And we've learned since then weren't as huge as we thought they were, but we started eating whole wheat bread instead of white bread. And we started eating more like green peppers and onions because it helped with inflammation. And it was little things like that. And we were like, yes, we're so healthy. This is so awesome. And now I know that's not true. It's not true at all. So, but yeah, but off and on it was always like me saying, hey, we should do something, or Larry saying, hey, we should do something, but neither of us saying that at the same time. And that was the difficult thing, is we weren't on the same page.
Right. And it was like over and over and trying this and trying that, and let's take a walk after dinner, and let's try to jog, and all these things, and nothing stuck and nothing worked, and we just ended up sitting on the couch watching Netflix all night long. So it was like, I don't even know, it's been years of this. I mean, we've been married for going on 7 years here. And so years and years of this. And then all of a sudden it was just like, you know what? Enough is enough. And, I think this is a funny confession to make, I guess. But so while this is all going on, I'm on Facebook, everyone's trolling around on Facebook and seeing people's posts and seeing stuff. And these posts keep coming up on my news feed from Conlin, and mainly from his, from Abby, from his wife. And I'm seeing this stuff about their gym and, the sugar detox group and this thing with Beachbody and feeling so good and fitness, and look at this recipe and look at all these things. And I'm like, wow, they really got it going on. I wish we could do that, but we can't. So we'll just watch. I'll just look and see, whatever. That's pretty cool. This was probably a year of seeing this stuff. And so finally we were like, you know what? We need to do something. I said, I'm going to reach out to Conlin. I've seen their stuff. They've got a gym. Maybe that they'll have an idea. Maybe they can help us out somehow, point us in the right direction. So I reached out to Conlin, and I'm like, what can we do? I see you guys on Facebook, and it looks really awesome. And you have this gym, and I wish we could get there, but it's just too far away. What do you got? And he says, we talked a couple of times, and he's like, why don't you try the 21-Day Fix? It's this program, simple workouts, 30 minutes a day, these little containers that help you with your food. And I was like, okay, I think I can do that. 30 minutes of a day of workout. If I don't want to, I don't even have to get out of my PJs. I can do it in my living room, and I fit my food in a container and I eat it. That can't be it can't be that bad. Let's give it a try. So we were like, let's go for it. We did it. We decided to go all in and do like the Shakeology and everything just because, like, let's go. And it was super helpful. It was incredible. The containers like worked. It made nutrition go from something that I felt like I needed a master's in food to here's a container. And if it's a carb, put it in this yellow container. That's how you measure it and you eat it. And it's just so simple and so easy. And it's just like, wow, I wish I would have reached out a year ago when I started seeing these posts and started then, but it was amazing.
Yeah, and well, like Larry said, we started with a package that included this drink called Shakeology, and we started it and we were like, we're not gonna be those people. We are not gonna drink Shakeology. We're not gonna keep doing it. And I remember Larry saying like, well, Colin said that we're really gonna like it, and I was like, that's great, but we're not gonna, like, we can't do it. It's too expensive. Like, this is not gonna happen. And so we got a 30-day supply, and we decided that we would each be able to drink it every other day, 15 times each. And on the days that we didn't drink it, I felt awful. Like, I did not have the energy to get through the day. And I was like hungry all the time, and then the next day I would drink it and be like, oh, this is so great. And then the next day would go back to like how I felt before we started. And so eventually we gave in and said, we gotta try and figure out how to make this work, but how are we gonna do it? Because it's expensive and it's not really in our budget. And we didn't really know what to do.
Right. And so, I will say we even went to the point of like, we went to GNC and we were like, there's got to be something else. It's got to be cheaper. That's just as good. Like, we can do this. I'll tell you what, there's not. We tried to find some stuff that we could mix together our own thing, and it would be way more expensive to get all that's in there. And the stuff that they did have that wasn't as good was still expensive. It wasn't any cheaper or, any better quality or anything like that. And so we're like, we got to do this. And so I remember Conlon had called me and just to check up and see how things were going. And he's like, how's the Shakeology? And I was like, we love it, but we can't afford it. Like, we just can't do this. And my favorite part was when Conlon was like, well, I'm a math teacher, so if you want to send me your budget, we can go over your budget. And I'm like, it's not a math teacher, calculus, it doesn't matter. It's not there. We can't make this happen. We just don't have the money. And so he was like, well, have you thought about coaching? And I was like, I've heard about it. I've seen Abby's posts. We have some other friends that do coaching. I know what it is. It seems pretty cool. Like, you post online and talk about what you're doing and encourage other people. And yeah, I think it sounds cool. I might want to do that. And he said, well, you also get a 25% discount on your stuff. And that includes Shakeology. That'll make it a little bit more affordable for you. And so you're like, oh, well, maybe we do want to consider this coaching thing a little bit more. And so, we decided, like, let's go for it. Let's see if that'll help. And then, also Colin explained, like, if you have friends and family that would benefit from Shakeology, if you can find 3 people that also would like to join in with you, then that's gonna pay for your shakes. And we were like, oh my gosh, I can think of plenty of people that would love to do this, and they can get in on it, and we can have our shakes paid for and be in a better place financially, and that's awesome. Like, everyone wins, everyone's healthier and getting the shakes, and it's great. So we were like, let's go for it. So we signed me up as a coach, one for the discount, and because it seemed like a pretty cool thing, and maybe make a little bit of extra income and just have a good time, like, helping other people get connected to this stuff. And I was a coach for about a month or so, three weeks to a month on my own. And we said, well, we'll share the account. We'll do this, like, it'll be my name, but we'll like do it like a shared thing. That lasted like a month. And we were like, no, like, we have to do this. It's more fun together. And so then after a month, we were able to get up the money and earn up the money through my coaching to sign Megan up as a coach as well, which was really cool. So we're both able to be coaches.
Yeah, and I don't think we necessarily realized like what we were signing up for when we signed up to be coaches, because we were doing it for the discount at first. And then the longer we've done it, the more we've learned how amazing it is and how much it's changed our lives. A lot of times with starting businesses and doing things like that, we talk about success and how success is about the money that you earn and how much income you're bringing in. And, we've had success in that way. When we first started, we said our goal was that we would both be able to get a bag of Shakeology a month, and we do that now. And we have another goal that we're at least earning $200 a month because that covers our car payment, which is awesome. But we have measured success in so many other ways through coaching. We have made amazing friendships. We both knew Colin from Geneva, and then met Abby, and just love them to death, and they're so awesome. And we met so many people that we would have never met before. And we, just because we signed up together, we always talk about how we do things better when we have support and are doing it together. We got to join an amazing team that gives us that support every single day. Even if one of us is having a bad day and we can't encourage the other one, we go to our team and we're like, okay, it's a bad day. Like, oh, you need some love over here. And they give it to you freely and encourage you and give you all the resources that you need. And that has been amazing for us to be plugged into a group of people that love what they're doing and they want to help people just like we do, because that's why we do what we do, is because we always felt like the people that would never be able to be fit. And now that we are still on that journey, and always will be, we love getting to be the people that help people that were where we were.
Yeah. And I mean, we've learned so much too. Like Megan said, we didn't even know what we were getting into when we started this. It was about a discount, and it was like, hey, maybe we'll make some money on the side, and that's pretty cool. And I'll tell you what, just being really real and really honest, I came into coaching and I had this idea of like, okay, I'm a coach, but like I'm a salesperson. Like that's what I do. I sell stuff to people. Like we all have those friends on Facebook that sell things, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, but that wasn't exactly what I was all about. But for a little while I had that mindset of like, well, you sell products. But let me tell you, it's so much different. Coaching is nothing like that. And again, there's nothing wrong with that sell thing. If that's your thing, then that's awesome. But I love coaching because yes, I'm talking to people, I'm getting to know people, I'm getting to hear their stories and see where are they struggling, where's the disconnect with fitness, with nutrition, and I'm helping them find solutions. I'm helping them find things, and not just, hey, here's a catalog of things and pick what you think, but like things that I know work because I've used them. They're things that have helped me and have improved my health and my fitness and just been so amazing. And so it's connecting people to those solutions. And it's also not just like, okay, hey, you got your challenge pack, see you later. It's then coming alongside them and it's helping them with that product. How's it going? Keeping them accountable, giving them the support they need. And that's the thing that I find so much passion in with coaching. I love, obviously I like helping people find the solution, but I love keeping up with them and how are you doing and is it working for you, and if not, what can we do differently, or what kind of support do you need, whatever. Like that's the cool thing, because it's not just selling products, it's connecting people to solutions, and then it's really helping them change their lives. And it's been incredible. And like I said, that we didn't know coming into it, but it's been super awesome. Especially I think for us, we both work in social services, and so coaching is so similar to that. It's helping people better their lives, empowering them, and it's just been incredible. And so, here we are, coaches 7 months into it. And like Megan said, we have a lot of goals. We have some short-term goals that a lot of them we've been able to meet already. But we also have some really long-term goals, because coaching has allowed us to have such a bigger vision and to be able to dream big and imagine things we never would have imagined before. Just for one example, like a lot of young people these days, I'm sure, we have student debt. We have a lot of debt, credit cards and a mortgage and student debt and master's degrees and all kinds of stuff. It's a lot. And we have, and people, our families are always like, oh, I feel so bad. And we're like, this is reality. This is the way it is. I'll probably die with this debt. Like, that's just the reality. It's debt for life. That's how it was. But now with coaching, I see that it doesn't have to be that way. That doesn't have to be the reality. There is the hope and the goal and the dream that we can be debt free. We've seen plenty of other people who have been able to do that with coaching. We know that it's possible. And so that's definitely one of our goals. It's a big goal. It's a long-term goal, but that's something we're totally working for and that we totally see as an absolute reality for us now that we never would have seen before in just our 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah, one of the other really big things that we never thought was possible was, we have been talking about growing our family and having children, and it was always kind of on the back burner, like, well, if we have children, then we'll have to pay for daycare, and daycare is not really an option, and we don't really want to, have our kids in daycare 24/7, and I know that's not how often they're in daycare, but it would be really bad. But we just couldn't figure it out. We were like, if we can't figure it out, then maybe like that's just not in the cards for us. And then we started this business, and all of a sudden, we know all of these amazing women who are stay-at-home moms because of this business, and it has become a reality for us that we can grow this business, and I can be a stay-at-home mom, and I will be wearing yoga pants every day for the rest of my life. But that can happen. Like in the past, we were like, what are we gonna do? It's never gonna happen. And now all of a sudden, that can happen. And like I can't tell you how huge that is, and how much of a difference that has made just in thoughts about our future and dreaming and thinking about that. That has just been so big for us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I even remember times when Megan wasn't working and was looking for a job, and she would be sitting for hours all day, and I would come home and say, what have you done today? And she would say, I was looking for stay-at-home jobs. And I said, Megan, you have to look for a real job, because that wasn't even a thing to us. Like, it wasn't even a reality. It wasn't even a possibility, but now it is. And that's just so amazing that something that she wanted even years ago now can be more attainable, more of a reality. So basically that's us. Like, that's where we're at. We are super excited about this. We love this business. We love this opportunity. We love being able to own a business where the first priority is ourselves, our fitness and our nutrition and being the best that we can be, and then helping others to do the same. And so it's just been super, super incredible. And we're so thankful for it. So very grateful for Abby and Conlin sharing on Facebook and letting us stalk them for a year and then helping us get connected and get started. So.
Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of you guys for how far you've come. We've got to shout that out real quick before I, tell people some details. But you guys, you've had some pretty amazing results. So why don't you shout that out so far in your journey? What has gone down here?
Well, I'll say just for me, I started heavier than I'd like. I guess I'll say that. At this point, I have lost over 50 pounds, which
Woo! That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Awesome.
It really is. So I have dropped tons of, nothing fits basically, like sizes of clothes, nothing fits anymore. I have to buy a whole new wardrobe, which is incredible. I'm doing things I never thought I could as far as like exercise wise, like just different moves and push-ups and things that I'm like, I never thought I could do that, and now I am. And that's been incredible for me, but I know Megan has seen a lot other really awesome benefits.
Yeah, so I'm down 42.5 pounds.
Ah! So awesome.
I'm super excited about that. And I mean, my diabetes is like so awesome, which is something that I didn't even really think about like during the time. And then Conlin asked me a question, and I was like, oh yeah, that's so cool. Like I take like, I don't know, maybe a third of the amount of insulin that I used to. I haven't bought any insulin since we started this, which is amazing because I used to take so much insulin because my body had built up a resistance to it. And like to the point that I don't know if any of you are familiar like with the insulin pump, but I couldn't be on one because I took too much insulin to be on an insulin pump, but I could do that now if I wanted to, which is like incredible. And yeah, just like Larry said, like I do things now that I never thought that I would ever be able to do. We've completed programs that I would have just like scrolled past before and been like, that is not for me. But it feels so awesome when you complete it and you do it. And yeah, I've loved that.
Oh my gosh, guys, like you've almost lost 100 pounds together. Like, do you realize that? Like, that is freaking insane. And I'm so proud of you both. So let's just throw that out there. So, obviously amazing stories. And the one thing I want to share in all of this is to, those of you who are on live with us and those who listen to this recording, everybody has a story and your story matters. That's what I love to share with people because, Larry's story might not look like your story, or Megan's story might not look like your story. But, what's crazy is that my story often doesn't look like other people's stories because I came into this business already in shape. And I felt like for a long time I didn't have a story to share because I didn't have weight to lose. But the transformation that I've personally had through coaching has been one of amazing growth. And, we all have a story that we can share that matters. And even though, some layers of my story now that I share that relate most to people are stories of struggle from even before I was a coach. It's like the longer you do this and the more you grow yourself, you unpeel layers of the onion to pieces of your life and your story that other people can relate to. And when people can relate to you, they trust you. And when they trust you, you have the awesome blessing and privilege of being able to impact their life and influence them. So, that's what coaching is really all about. If you're looking for a business where you're going to make $1 million tomorrow, don't join us. But if you're looking for a business where you can build an amazing future for yourself over time in very small pockets of time, this is the business for you. If you want to live your healthiest, best life, this is the business for you. Like Larry had shared a minute ago, what business do you know of where your number one job and priority is taking incredible care of yourself, putting yourself first on the to-do list of, eating healthy and moving your body and, pouring good inspiration and motivation and positive talk into your mind instead of the negative everything that we hear on a day-to-day basis. But, coaching is different than anything else. But what I love to remind people of is, sometimes it's hard when you hear a story. And, for me personally, I've been coaching for 4.5 years. So yes, I've replaced my income working as a hygienist and I can do this from home full time. But that's an awesome thing to look at and say, I have a vision that if I want to work and I want to put in little bits of time for a long time, I can build anything I want to build. Maybe you're somebody that you're like, I'm 100% happy in my career and I love it. Amazing. What would you like more of in life? Would you like more time? Would you like more money, resources to do things you want to do? When it first starts for so many people, it's paying a car payment. Like, Megan and Larry are focused on doing right now on top of, paying for their own Shakeology where they're living a healthier lifestyle, where they're getting 60 meals a month paid for as well as, like their car payment. And then little things keep adding on. For some people, it's paying for, sports or dance lessons for kids. It's a side hustle. It's a side job. It's a part-time job that you don't have to have hours where you're like, I'm a waiter at a restaurant in the evening or a bartender and I have to be away every evening from this time to this time to work. But I can choose my schedule, my hours. When I worked full-time as a hygienist, I could work before work. I could work on my lunch break. I could work after work in the evening in little pockets of time that I wanted to work, where I built myself a sustainable future. So if you're somebody who, you can see something and say like, that's worth working for, this is absolutely 100% for you. If you want to build a little side business that you can do as much or as little as you want and get in great shape, this is for you. If you're on a journey, this is for you. If you've already lost weight, this is for you. This is for everybody if you didn't get the drift. If you, want to help other people and you want to be healthy, you should be doing this with us. So, maybe you're listening in with us and you have never been in a group before. I want to give you 2 quick scenarios of what that looks like. But to be a coach, the other thing that's pretty cool, like I said in the beginning, is I own a gym That's what I did before this too. And whenever you start a business from scratch, like you pay tens of thousands of dollars to start a business. And whenever you start a coaching business, you pay $40. Well, that's pretty cool. And they'll actually waive that fee if you decide you want to start a health and fitness journey, or maybe you're already on a health and fitness journey, but you want to use Beachbody programs and products. They're like, hey, if you buy your shakes and your workouts, we'll just waive that fee. So you buy your own products, you use them, you don't have to pay anything to become a coach, and you get a 25% discount on any future orders for the rest of the time that you're a coach. And you get 25% to 40% commissions on anything that you refer people to buy through you. So that's pretty incredible. There's no sales minimums, quotas, inventory, any crazy shenanigans, no customer service. All of that is dealt with for you. You don't ship anything. You don't do anything like that. You build relationships with people. You meet new people. You find a solution for them, like Larry was talking about, whenever they have something that we could share with them. And what's really cool is Beachbody has something for everybody. And we hook them up with what they need, and we get paid for it. And we get more friends on this awesome journey where we're all just trying to be a little bit better every day. None of us are perfect. I often eat donuts. I often, have wine. I often eat too much chocolate, and that's okay because we're living life together, and we just are focused on being our best every day and influencing others to be their best too. So that's coaching in a nutshell. The best way to join always is with a challenge pack. If you haven't already purchased a challenge pack before, a challenge pack means you get a year's access to Beachbody On Demand, which is workout streaming like Netflix. You get a month of Shakeology, 30 meals of Shakeology, the nutrition system that they were talking about earlier with the portion control containers that teaches you how to eat for a lifestyle, and it's only $160. They waive all the fees to join as a coach. Like, it's literally a steal. It is ridiculous. I can't believe that they give it to people for that price. But we work for a company who's all about changing lives and making it available for people. So that's pretty amazing. If you've already purchased a challenge pack before, what I just said, and you were in a group as what we call a challenger or a client, then you can sign up as a coach for $40, and they just waive that fee. You get it reimbursed within 2 to 3 business days, which is super cool. They're like, thanks for being a customer of us and wanting to promote us. We'll just give you the money back. So they give you back the $40, and then you just get your 25% discount, and you still get your discount even if you don't sell anything. There's no minimums, like I said. So it's the world's most amazing opportunity, in my opinion. I'm a little partial to it at this point, but you have the ability to do what you want. You can run a commissions-based business, or you can do what I've chosen to do and what Megan and Larry are doing now as well, which is build a team of other people who want to help people too. And then it doesn't create more work for you. It's called, I know people that I want to help, and you know people you want to help, and together we can all work a small amount of time and create a huge impact by getting to know people through people. That's what true, honest to goodness, the way it's supposed to be network marketing is, and I absolutely love it. So that's coaching. I am super excited for those of you who could be on here live with us and those of you who hear this story in the future. But I'm going to stop recording for those who get to listen to this in the future. But if you have questions, we'd love to answer them for you.